Hey guys, welcome to Toomey Presents. I wanted to wait a couple of days to post this review because I want to give people adequate time to watch the Royal Rumble. Obviously, we're living in a different era where not everyone is watching the day of broadcast. Not everyone is watching live. I'm sure there's a lot of fans like myself who did watch live, but obviously I want to wait a little bit and give people time. So this will contain spoilers, so if you have not watched the 2025 Royal Rumble yet, although you've probably seen all the news out there on the internet, you've probably been spoiled already, but if you haven't, this is your chance to click off and come back later. So I will start in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so what did we all think of the Royal Rumble? Obviously, that end of the Royal Rumble was very interesting. We've heard stories about Drew McIntyre is like running off because, if you believe the speculation, it's something regarding LA Knight. There were people saying Logan Paul. There were people saying Penta. There was a lot of people getting speculated about, oh, Drew McIntyre stormed out of the arena when it was still on air. I think it's a work. I think this is something to set up like Drew McIntyre versus LA Knight or Drew McIntyre versus someone. I think this is going to be a angle. But, you know, Meltzer is reporting it as fact, so we'll wait and see how factual it was. Obviously, Jey Uso has won. Yeet. You know, like, I think it was good to let Jey Uso win. I mean, I thought Cena would. Cena was in the final two, so we have to talk about Cena. Cena was already announced for the Elimination Chamber. Well, let's just call it what it is. When I was watching it, I was like, they're going with Jey Uso. Like, I could see it there. And also, Gunther is someone he's faced recently at Saturday Night's Main Event in a couple of months ago, I think. I think it was December. But it's starting that rivalry, and I think at WrestleMania we'll get Jey Uso as a world champion. I think that is a crowning moment, and just picture that sight of Jey Uso coming through the crowd with the world heavyweight title. I know this is not an exact replica of the current world title, but this is the Flair title. This is a better title anyways. But yeah, Jey Uso wins that. And then on the other side, we have Charlotte winning the women's one. Now, I don't know if Charlotte needed to win the Royal Rumble for the women. There was a lot of disappointing moments, I think, in terms of, we didn't get AJ, obviously, but they could have made someone in that Royal Rumble. They could have made a household name, but, I mean, Charlotte coming back, I get the whole idea of, like, let's put it on Charlotte because she's been away for a while. Let's have her headline in the biggest event she can at WrestleMania. But Charlotte has headlined WrestleMania many times, so I feel like it's a missed opportunity. But also, in saying that, I have faith in Triple H, so let's call that what it is. He may make stars down the line, we don't know. There is a few surprise returns in both Rumbles, and a few surprise pop-ups in there. So, in the men's Rumble, we had Joe Hendry show up, for example. That was a pretty cool one. I think that was the biggest one that really caught me. We also had, like, all the legends in there at one time, and you had this really great shot in the men's Royal Rumble of Seth Rollins and the camera focusing on Roman behind him and then focus pulling. It is really a really good shot. And that's just me, camera as an ex-camo, just like geeking out at camera shots. Obviously I mentioned Cena. I think we'll see him win the Elimination Chamber and go on to Mania to maybe versus Cody. I can't see him picking Gunther. I really can't see Gunther versus John Cena at Mania. I think the more money potential is in Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. And then obviously you have, in the Women's Rumble, you had Nikki Bella and also Trish Stratus show up. Two big legends, one big legend. And I would say Nikki's a big legend, but not as notable as Trish Stratus. But, you know, definitely in the same era. Definitely in the same conversation of ex-massive stars of WWE. Now, I wouldn't say she's one of the all-time greats like Trish is, but she's definitely respectable to show up in the Rumble. People really wanted AJ Lee, though, but that's always going to be a thing. People are always going to be satisfied. And, you know, AJ might not want to get back in the ring. We might just want to start admitting that, guys. We've heard from CM Punk about, oh, well, you know, why are we going to do that? Why would she want to get that? Like, she's doing so many things on the side that she doesn't really need to get in the ring and risk injuring her body even further. So, yeah, I think if AJ doesn't want to get in the ring again, I think that is a respect. I think we should respect her wishes. And yeah, it would be great to see her show back up in some capacity. Like, I would like to see her as like a general manager again, or like maybe when Punk does win an eventual world title at some point in WWE again, I would like to see AJ come down to the ring and just like have that moment with Punk. Like, that would be a good moment. But I think we don't need AJ back because she is probably at that point where she doesn't want to get back in the ring, and we need to call it what it is. That being said, it was great to see Trish Stratus in there. It was good to see Nikki Bella. I'm sure there's people I'm forgetting. There was 30 entries in the whole thing. There were points in the Women's Rumble where it just kind of felt like routine, just kind of like, okay, we need to hit this spot, we need to hit that spot. With the Men's Rumble, there was a bit of that as well. There was also something where Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk all had that thing outside the ring. You see, after they all got eliminated, you see as I believe Roman's on the ground after the curb stomp from Seth, you see Punk walk over to Heyman and just give him that look like, what is the favor? Is it these three headline WrestleMania? If so, maybe we'll have a triple threat as the world title match. Maybe Roman wins the Elimination Chamber, maybe Seth wins the Elimination Chamber, maybe Punk wins it. And then that's one of your main events of WrestleMania, the triple threat. Maybe that's how the Chamber ends, and maybe Cena goes on later to win a world title or whatever. We don't know how this is going to go. But there's a lot of variables here, and there's a lot of stories. I think that's a potential WrestleMania match, the triple threat with Roman, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk. That's a potential WrestleMania match. Obviously, if it is LA Knight that Drew McIntyre has the issue with, I could see that as a good WrestleMania match. And also, we need to talk about the tag team match. What a match! Like Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa against the Motor City Machine Guns. I don't know what Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano call the tag team. I think it's... I don't know. I don't follow them that closely. Sorry, but... yeah, Motor City Machine Guns, I've been following them since the TNA days. They put on a really good show, and then obviously, I believe, the Street Profits show up at the end, and obviously, everything goes from there. And then maybe that's going to be a triple threat turmoil, or maybe there'll be four corners turmoil at WrestleMania or something. We don't know what they're going to do, but it was a really good match. I think that was a showcase. And also, we have to talk about that ladder match. Whoa, like... I saw at a couple of moments, there was a bit of concern where I watched... there was one spot in particular in the ladder match where I think Kevin Owens is on the top rope and Cody comes down on the ladder that is positioned between the first notch of the ladder, the first step, and the bottom rope. And you see Cody come down on that ladder and bounce up and then just like fall down. Now, obviously, the announcers after the show said Cody is dealing with something, multiple injuries. Could this be a work? We don't know, but I think I watched that and I was like, oh my gosh, like that was not a proper fall. Like I see a wrestler's fall and I understand, and maybe it's a work. I'm sure Cody's known for selling. Like obviously he wanted the gimmick to steel chair back in AEW. We know he's a fan of those sort of moments that kind of blur the lines. But when he fell, I was like, this guy's really concussed. Like that looked like a concussion right there. And as I watched it back, I felt like his head didn't make contact with the ladder. But it was still concerning by the way he dropped. Maybe there was a split second where he made contact and it did knock him out. It looked like he was visibly knocked out. Because why else would a bunch of people jump in the ring? And then obviously Kevin Owens went through the ladder and that was pretty terrible. Like that fall through the ladder. Even though it was a gimmick ladder, you could see the crack in it and the red and all that stuff. You could see it was a gimmick ladder. I still felt like Kevin Owens put his body on the line as well. That was a really intense spot where he came off the announce table through that ladder on the outside. But the biggest concern for me was Cody. Like, that, I don't think was planned. Like, the Kevin Owens spot was planned, but the other spot was not planned. So I don't feel like that was planned. So I'm a bit more concerned about, did Cody get concussed at that moment? And obviously you see the ref holding the ladder, which people have said, oh, the ref holding a ladder in the ladder match, like, what is that all about? I think they knew Cody was injured. I think they knew he was injured and that if they didn't hold the ladder, there could be a bigger issue of Cody falling off the top of the ladder while he was up there. Who knows what he was seeing? He could have been seeing 10 different world titles up there. We don't know what he was seeing at that time because of, it could have been a concussion. But I feel like the ref holding the bottom of the ladder was a safety move. Yes, it doesn't look great in a ladder match. I know, I get it. But I will say, you know what? Protect the wrestlers first and foremost. If Cody's injured, what a tough SOB for like continuing the match in that state. And same with Kevin Owens. If he was injured at some point in that match, what a tough SOB to continue that match. Like, that's a definitive world title defense and world title match right there. That's a classic, I think. And I think future generations will look at it as a classic. But yeah, Jey Uso going to WrestleMania. We don't know who's going to pick, even though we kind of know who's going to pick. He's probably going to pick Gunther. Whether Cody, maybe they're setting up for Cody to lose the world title through a vacation, and maybe, well, not vacation, but you know what I mean, like vacating. Maybe he wants to go on vacation. We don't know. But, you know, maybe the whole thing is like Cody's injured, so he has to vacate, and the Elimination Chamber will be for the title, and maybe Cena wins the title, Elimination Chamber goes on to defend it at Mania. We don't know what's going to happen. I think we're setting up for a Cena heel turn, though, because that press conference afterwards, Cena really talked like a heel in that one and said, I believe I have earned it. I've put in the mileage. I think I've earned the right to call that I'm going in the chamber. It seemed like the way he was talking was kind of like a heel. But then again, it's Cena. So, can he really be heel? I've seen him heel before. I mean, I know when I first started watching, he was a heel. But, yeah, we'll have to wait and see, guys. It's very hot in this room. And let me know what you thought about the Royal Rumble 2025. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, drop a comment. Check out my other two channels, Jamie Toomey News and Jamie Toomey Gaming. I have started the gaming channel recently. And I'll put a couple of videos over here from the gaming channel. So have a look at them. You might enjoy it, might not. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace.